Before we jump into this week's episode of Major Pain, I will remind you that I am not a medical professional. Please do not take any medical action based off what you hear on this podcast without first consulting your doctor.
Medicine itself is kind of nebulous.
My brain is just wired differently.
You're feeling symptoms that the tests aren't showing exist.
People need to hear your story.
Welcome to Major Pain. I'm your host, Jesse Mercury, and I'm so excited today to be joined by our guest, Janene. Janene, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy you're here. Let's get to know you a little bit before we jump into your story. So, Janene, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, my name is Janene, and I live in upstate New York. I am a mom of twins. I have 2 Shih Tzus. I love to travel, and I love to talk.
Amazing. Very cool. What do you do for fun?
For fun? Well, I'm very busy with my children, with the extracurricular activities and things like that. So that takes up a lot of my time. But I do have a good group of girlfriends that I hang out with.
Amazing. How many kids do you have?
Just the twins.
Okay. And how old?
14.
Oh, wow. You have 14-year-old twins.
Yes.
Amazing.
I made it that far. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That must be a really fascinating parenting journey to have twins.
It was a journey. It was double everything and double the fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I are just, in the process of family planning right now. And I can't imagine bringing home children for the first time and having 2 of them. Yeah,
it was very strange. I mean, you don't even really know where to start. There's no handbook. There's no, you're just kind of like, here we are.
Yeah, amazing. And what sort of extracurricular activities are your twins involved in?
My son, I have a boy and a girl. Okay. So my son is into golf, and he's on a pickleball league with my husband. And my daughter is a competitive dancer. So if you know anything about the competitive dance world, that takes up about 80% of my free time. We travel, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
So cool. Amazing. And what part of the country are you in?
I'm in the United States, and I am in New York. I'm in upstate New York, not New York City. I'm way up, like by the Syracuse area.
Okay, amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we have a sense of you, I'm so excited to hear your story. So, Janene, what is your major pain?
My major pain is general pustular psoriasis.
General pustular psoriasis. What is that?
It's a rare, very rare autoimmune disease. It affects the skin. It's not plaque psoriasis. It is completely different. It is a whole nother breed of pain. Blisters on large parts of the body. Painful.
Yeah.
The fever, nausea. It's a different, it can be life-threatening if you let it go. I was surprised to hear that. There's such a thing as a dermatology emergency, which you would never think, but unfortunately I had to go through it, but I did.
Yeah. We had an interview a while back with Jen from the Spoonie Sisters podcast discussing medically induced pustular psoriasis. But this is a slightly different variation of a similar breed of disease.
Yes.
With general pustular psoriasis. So can you tell us a little bit about what an outbreak of this disease feels like? You mentioned a little bit about what it might look like, but give us some details. When you're suffering, what is happening?
Well, honestly, mine started on the bottom of my feet. Everybody's different. So mine started on the bottom of my feet. It felt like I was walking on hot coals, like fire, like literally like hotter than pavement in the sun. It's just burning, kind of itchy, but it's such a burn, painful. Blisters start forming, and you can almost feel your skin hot and like it's spreading like right in front of your face, pretty much.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It moves quickly. It moved very quickly.
It sounds almost like you burn your feet. These blisters form. You feel this heat.
In the end, that's exactly what it, I've never been that burned, but I can just imagine because your skin is so tender.
Yeah, that's so deeply disturbing. I mean,
Yes.
it's like a phantom fire burning your feet.
Yes.
When did this start? How long ago did this start to happen to you?
3 or 4 years ago, just
Wow.
randomly. Yeah,
Randomly.
just randomly. There was no reason. I was going to a golf tournament, and I was going to be serving drinks there. And my foot bothered me when I put my shoe on, but I didn't think anything of it because I have so many allergies and things like that. I didn't pay much attention to it. By the time I got to the golf tournament, I had one perfectly round blister. And I just thought maybe I got bit. I have no idea. And as the day went on, they just started literally spreading. Every time I looked back down on my foot, there was another one there.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That must have been terrifying. I mean,
It was terrifying, especially for the girl I was working with because she didn't know what was going on.
yeah. I'm personally no stranger to strange things happening to my body that I don't understand. And I know that feeling of like, what is going on? I'm
Yes.
in this body. I've been in this body every day of my life. And all of a sudden
Yes.
it's doing a thing that I don't understand.
Yes.
And it's so deeply unsettling. So you're at this golf tournament. All of a sudden these blisters are spreading out on your feet out of nowhere.
Yes.
How long did it take for you to get to a doctor?
My husband was in the tournament. So I kept calling and he answered. I said, as soon as you're done, I said, I'm going to drive myself home. As soon as you're done, we're going to have to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. And as I sat here and I put cold water on my feet, I was just trying to use my own medical knowledge that isn't really much. So I tried to just use cool, like, you think it's so hot, you put cool on it, maybe it would feel better. And it didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
So we did end up going to the we only have one hospital, so we went to our local hospital, the emergency room. Yeah.
Okay, you go to the emergency room. Did they know right away what this was, or was
Absolutely not. Absolutely, absolutely not. I think that it was even hard to go up to the woman in the front and tell her, well, I have blisters on my feet. And, I had to tell her, I feel nauseous. I feel my body's hot. I believe I have a fever. And she's just staring at me like, you're here for blisters? I just,
Oh no!
here's people in the waiting room probably with really, that physically you could see, but this was just blisters. And
Yeah, but it's like you're being burned by a phantom fire. We need to
Yes,
figure
but
out what's happening and stop it.
she didn't really believe me, maybe. I don't know, because it just looked like perfectly round blisters all conglomerating together, slowly moving together.
Wow. And does it start in like one small spot on your foot and then it just starts to spread out throughout the day? Does it travel up your ankle at all, or is it just all localized to the bottom of the foot?
Yes, by Sunday night, because this was the weekend, by Sunday night, I did have it all over. At the emergency room, I had a nurse come in and she brought one of her colleagues in because they had no idea what to say. So they went out of the room. I don't know. They said, we're going to talk to this one or talk to that one. They really don't have a dermatologist on call for, these emergencies. So they sent me home with the diagnosis of athlete's foot.
Oh my goodness. So these people are not taking you seriously. You
Yeah,
must be in a panic.
I wish I could have laughed like you just did, because that's exactly what a joke it felt like, because this was so not athlete's foot. It is completely not. She gave me the paper, that says athlete's foot for the creams to go pick up. I'm like, I told my husband, I go, just go home. I don't know. We're just going to wait. We'll call Monday morning the dermatology.
Yeah. I'm also no stranger to feeling like doctors aren't taking me seriously, and I am freaking out about it.
Yes.
What did that feel like to you?
To me, it feels like I have a fever and nausea from the blisters. I mean, I know I did. I know that I felt it started, and it just started so quickly. And then I started to feel nauseous and so I was explaining to them, I didn't have like a flu or something, this whole thing is all together. This is all happening at once. It's not, I'm not here for the flu and the blisters. I'm here because the blisters are causing this fever and nausea and pain. And I just wanted to just lay down, just fatigue. It was hard to explain, but she didn't really take me that seriously, I guess.
Yeah, but not being taken seriously must be so disturbing.
Frustrating. Very frustrating. Frustrating.
Have you ever experienced anything like that before with the medical establishment of not being listened to?
I have. Unfortunately, I have, which is, it is unfortunate. And it took a while to get help with these other things that were a little more manageable, but this isn't manageable. Like, you can't just say, oh, maybe they'll stop tomorrow, because they sure didn't.
Yeah. And they send you home, tell you to get some athlete's foot cream. That's not going to work.
It's not going to work. I didn't even go pick it up. I said, we're not going to pick that up. Waste my money on it.
So what did you do next?
I still stayed with a cold, like a pot, a bin, and I kept putting my feet in there, just trying to think, what could this be? Did I get bit by something? My mind, I was taking pictures of it, sending it to one of my friends that's a nurse, and she's like, I don't know, and she didn't want to come over. I think once I saw the pictures, I didn't think she was going to run over here, but she even mentioned like Coxsackie with children. You're probably not familiar with that, but it's just like hand, foot, and mouth and things, those diseases. Yeah. You've been around? I'm like, no, I haven't. My kids were like 9 or 10. They weren't infants. And I don't know. So I just waited till Monday morning. I stayed up the majority of the night controlling the fever. That's the best I could do, because I didn't know what to do for the blisters. So I took, Tylenol, ibuprofen, things like that. I didn't sleep. We were just waiting for the morning to come, pretty much.
Yeah. And do you start immediately trying to find another doctor to try to get someone to listen to you?
Well, we called I wanted to talk to my dermatologist, because I do have plaque psoriasis, like I said. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this is something with the skin. Hopefully he can help me. And if he wasn't able to, I was going to go to my primary doctor, my general.
Okay. I missed that you also have plaque psoriasis.
Plaque psoriasis.
Okay. So, wow, that's fascinating. Is this, that just brings all these questions to mind. I mean, pustular psoriasis, plaque psoriasis, do those happen together often? Is that something you know?
Not at all. No.
Really?
I've had plaque psoriasis since I was 20 years old.
Okay. Wow.
Which stress brought that out. We were very clear in how that started. I lost my dad. So we suddenly, that's what started that, but we didn't know what this was. This wasn't plaque psoriasis. They're completely different. They look completely different. They feel completely different.
Yeah, totally. And plaque psoriasis, I mean, my understanding is that comes with some generalized symptoms as well, like maybe some fatigue and body pain. Is that correct?
Yes, not like this though. It is different. It's more mild. It's very itchy. The plaque psoriasis in my case is very itchy. This was burning. This was a burn feeling. Yeah.
And plaque psoriasis, is that an autoimmune disease as well? Have you been on medication for that for a while? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. So you've already got some experience in the medical world. You're already living with a chronic illness.
Yes, and I figured my dermatologist was maybe the one to contact. He was our first call. Yeah,
okay. And what did your dermatologist think?
Well, I don't know if they really believed that I called as soon as they opened. And my husband said, we've been in the emergency room and this and that. A dermatology emergency just doesn't sound like it happened. She said, well, I could get you in like 1 p.m. And I called her by her name and I said, I honestly, because I know them. And I said, I can't wait. Like, something's wrong. So we did get down there. I pretty much crawled into the office because I couldn't walk on my feet. And My husband couldn't carry me. So I was embarrassed, and they put me right in a room. And I just skipped like everybody, and I went into one of the rooms there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, if this is happening on the bottom of your feet, how do you even get around?
I can't even, I kneeled. My husband pulled up and I got out, and then he parked the car, but I was like kneeling. They saw me, they saw me through the window, and they came and opened the door.
Wow. Okay. So when you get in to see your doctor, does the dermatologist know right away what this is, or is it still a mystery?
Actually, he did.
Okay.
It is very rare for them, for small towns like this, to have such an educated dermatologist, but I was very, very lucky.
Yeah. Wow.
He was able, like, looking right at it and seeing, and once I told him what was going on, my husband pretty much was telling him, because I was just, once I saw him, I just started crying, because I said, this, look at me. I'm like, something's wrong. Yeah, something is definitely wrong, not right in my life right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But he knew what it was.
He looked down and he said, he pulled the chair up and he said, Janene, you have something called pustular psoriasis, general pustular. I said, okay. I mean, I was just staring at him like, so now what? What's happening? And he explained how it is a long road, but you're going to get through it. But when you're sitting there like that, you don't feel like there's ever going to be an end to this. When is the nausea going to stop? When are the fevers going to stop? So he gave us sterilization like creams and things like that, because the feet have to be, after these blisters break, they're like open sores, right? So you have to make sure you keep them clean because of infection, if you think about it, right? So you got these open, as they're breaking, your skin's open and they like conglomerate together. So your skin's just like almost like falling off.
Jeez.
Like
That's
a
so
snake.
awful.
Like a snake.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a systemic element to this disease. You're talking about this nausea and you're just sort of feeling ill overall, on top of having your feet feel like they're on fire. Is there systemic medication for that?
Yes, actually, I went home with about 4 creams and some pain medication and steroids. But there is a biologic. There is quite a few out there now that a biologic can help, which would be once a month or however it's supposed to be administered.
Yeah. Does that suppress your immune system?
I think so.
I'm familiar with biologics for like rheumatoid arthritis, something like that.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's like, sounds like...
I mean, it must be slowing that, how this starts, it must be slowing things down.
Yeah.
Because
so you're attacking it from 2 angles. You have a medication that you're taking, you have localized creams. And did you start to see some relief right away?
No. No. You have to go through the first few days, which is the first 4 or 5 days. You don't know what you're in store for, but that's why I'm here to tell you that you will get through it, even though you think you're not going to.
Yeah, which is why it's so important for someone else going through this to have you to hear from, to say, hey, this happened to me.
I know, because I got home and I started Googling and trying to find something. When I got home, I'm like, what does this mean? So I couldn't find much. There wasn't much out there.
Yeah, okay. So, and that first week sounds just like an absolute nightmare.
It is.
And then did you start to see some improvement after that?
Slowly, yes. The pain starts to subside a little bit. The blisters start to almost like crust over, kind of. And the nausea started to go away as the blisters started to go away, and the fever went down. But you're still exhausted. You're exhausted from it. It's so strange. It's just so strange.
Yeah, totally. And this just happened out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Is there any theory as to why this happened? Or is this just one of those diseases where the answer is, I don't know?
He did ask me if I stopped any medications abruptly, which I did not. There's some people say that it's environmental, maybe like something, maybe, I don't know, in the grass or something that maybe could trigger it. They say stress can trigger it. I really don't know how mine was. How and I don't know. And I don't
that's so frustrating. It's like there's some things that can trigger it, but nothing seems to apply to your case. It's just like,
no, I mean, everybody's stressed out in their daily life. So, I mean, is that it? I don't know. Was it? I don't know. I mean, it's daily life. It's nothing more than I wasn't going through before.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. And from that point until now, have you just been on this biologic the whole time? How has this evolved? How has this evolved over the last couple of years?
It's helped me immensely. It really
I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm so thankful for it. Your dermatologist, if you get put on a biologic or something, they will keep following up with you. And I was telling him, I'm like, I'm feeling good. Look, things are moving and things are clearing up. And, once you're able to actually walk on your feet again, if it's on your feet. Yeah.
Is there anything that you have to be aware of in your daily life as far as lifestyle choices, both for this disease itself or for the medication that you're on?
Well, you have to slow down if you feel like something's, happening, or if you're feeling maybe a little itchy, this and that on your foot. Maybe it's just a sign that you should slow down a little bit and take it easy. That's really all I know. I don't know what triggered mine. But it does stay on your mind, like, oh, should I be in the sun, or should I walk on this? And, should I wear my shoe? Should I not wear my shoes? Like, I'm still very cautious when I go barefoot anywhere, because it never leaves my mind. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. It sounds like you've found some things that work for you. Yeah. But something like this is like, you have to be aware of it all the time, like you were just saying. I mean, it sounds like this is a sort of lifelong addition to your life, where you're just being aware of it. It is
lifelong for me, maybe not for others, but for me it is, because I am a big pedicure person, and I am unable now to get pedicures. My nails have not grown in the way that they should.
Oh, interesting.
They're a little different. My dermatologist said they may not. And I'm just thankful, I think, that I even have some now, but my life has changed as far as the pedicure, because I'm a big nail and pedicure, and, but if that's what I got to do, then I'm okay with it. It's not that
bad. What medication are you on for the plaque psoriasis?
Just creams, but I don't know if one is in with the other. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the biologic I'm on is taking care of both of them, because I'm actually clear all the way around.
Really? Oh,
yes,
wow.
I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. And so, I'm thrilled.
Fascinating. So going on the biologic maybe helped the plaque psoriasis.
Yes. I have for instance, I had it in my head. I had it on my scalp pretty bad. And my hairdresser's like, there's nothing here like this. I mean, she's done my hair for 10 years. And so she said, and I'm clear. I really am. Yeah.
And how about the systemic symptoms, like the nausea or any fatigue? Is the biologic helping with that as well?
Well, yes. I have not been back to that stage ever again. Fatigue, I think, just comes with your body working so hard. I think it just comes. Your immune system's working so hard, and I think it makes you tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah, any form of psoriasis.
Yes.
We just don't understand enough about all of these diseases, but your body is doing something. There's a process going on. Doctors really just don't know what. And it seems like the immune system, this is autoimmune. There's something overactive in the immune system that ends up sort of attacking your own body and creating these skin symptoms. Yes. So even if you're on a biologic to slow down that process, there's still that process happening. And that takes energy. Your body's just running a background process all the time.
All the time. Something's constantly going, fighting something. Like, even with a little bit of an illness, I mean, you're already exhausted, but it's already working. Now it's going to work even harder, though.
Right. Just all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did the pustular psoriasis ever spread beyond your feet?
Actually, it did spread. It spread to my hands
Interesting.
and up my legs a little bit, like just not the big pools of it. It comes in like pools. It was just like a couple on my leg, and I did have it on my hands.
Wow.
So it was pretty scary to look at.
Was that in that first week when you were, just going on this medication?
Yes, it didn't. It wasn't as bad on my hands as it was on my feet. It wasn't as bad. I don't know if it's because the medicine was like in my system a little bit, and then it like slowly, it tried, and maybe the medicine pulled it back a little bit. I don't know, but it wasn't as bad on my hands. But
Yeah, and through all of this, you're a mother, you're a wife, life goes on.
yes,
And you're in the midst of this crisis.
yes.
That must have been so challenging.
The whole journey is more than just these blisters and things, because you're mentally just all of a sudden. Could you imagine just one Saturday morning you just can't walk on your feet? Like, it was very strange, but it takes a toll mentally, not physically, emotionally. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's a lot more than just a rash or whatever you want to call it, but it takes a toll, and you won't forget it. You won't ever forget it. But
yeah. So you go through this like crisis phase, you get the right medication. So thankful to have this dermatologist who knew what was going on. I can only imagine if you had to keep hunting for an answer.
people do.
I'm sure.
People do.
Which again, it's why it's so important to spread some awareness about this. So thank you again for sharing this story. You go through this crisis phase, you get the right medication, you assert some control over this process, this mysterious process that's happening, and then it must sort of integrate into your life long term. You're still on the medication, you're still thinking about this all the time, but you have it sort of under control at this point.
Yes. And you're thinking too, should I walk on the beach barefoot? What if it was something from the beach? Like, you think of things like that, and I love the beach, but, you're thinking it all the time.
Yeah, the uncertainty. You have to get comfortable with uncertainty. Is that something you've learned to get comfortable with, living with that constant uncertainty?
Yes. It took a little bit. Yes. Yes.
How do you do that? What's your process? What happened?
I just had to change things a little bit in my life. My life changed quite a bit. I had some other health things going on, so I had to stop working in the middle of all of this. Once this happened, my work days were over. I got pulled from work probably a month into this journey.
Do you mind sharing what other health things were going on?
Yes, I have lupus.
You have lupus?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
When were you diagnosed with lupus?
2003.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 autoimmune diseases at the same time.
I have many more. I have 5.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Tell me more.
I really do. And as I'm getting older, I think I'm getting more, to tell you the truth.
5 autoimmune diseases?
It's really true.
Wow. Okay. Lupus. We have these 2 forms of psoriasis.
Yes. I have Sjogren's disease.
Sjogren's. Okay.
I have that pretty bad. I have rheumatoid arthritis.
Wow.
Raynaud's syndrome.
Raynaud's. Yeah.
The cold.
For anyone who's not familiar, let's go through these. What is lupus?
Lupus is also an autoimmune, which the same thing. The cells are attacking even the good cells, and it's working really hard to fight the bad cells. So like when you're sick, it takes a lot out of you when you're sick.
Yeah, body's generalized body attacking itself.
Itself, yes.
Yeah, Sjogren's, I know, impacts like the tear ducts and
yes.
Yes. Tell us about Sjogren's. Yeah.
Sjogren's is not just dry eye and not just dry mouth. It's like a severe. I mean, it affects dental. It affects your gums. It's affected my vision. It's actually taken a toll on my vision. I have these like tear duct things in my eyes that they had done, and they weren't successful. So I use drops, 2 different drops every day, like 8 times a day. I have to do those.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Your story just flipped upside down in my mind. I mean,
I wasn't gonna say all that. We don't have all day for that.
I'm so interested in this. I'm so curious. I don't think this has ever happened in the history of the show.
Oh, great.
to get to this point in the podcast and then discover that you are a chronic illness warrior in a way that is so far expanded beyond what we've been discussing. That's just it's interesting to me to hear your story presented in this way. And we really led with pustular psoriasis. That's all I knew about going into this.
Yes.
And tell me about that. Your desire to lead with pustular psoriasis. Is that because this is the least known of these diseases and you just want to get the word out?
Once I got my lupus diagnosis, it was a panel of blood work. Like, I was tired, getting sick all the time, like that. It was blood work. It was right there, they were able to give me a diagnosis. Just the Sjogren's, you could clearly see my eyes were very red. There was a lot that the ophthalmologist knew when I got there. My rheumatologist knew that it was Sjogren's and suggested that the medicine I'm on, I have to go see the ophthalmologist anyway because it affects your vision. And then he's been treating me with drops. But those were all easy to diagnose. The psoriasis, the plaque psoriasis was very simple. The Raynaud's is clear as day. Your hands turn white, blue, purple, in the cold. Even when I touch the car door, things like that, I get all red. And
wow.
So yeah, all those are easy, but we didn't know what to do with this one.
Yeah, and it really underscores the experience that you went through with pustular psoriasis, that hellish week when you were really suffering. It also makes me sort of reconceptualize what that must have been like, because now I'm hearing this in the context of I have several other autoimmune diseases that I've been living with for years. So you've been a chronic illness warrior for a long time.
I have, but I've been working. I've been doing my best with it all since 2003.
Yeah.
But finally, once that happened with the that was the icing on the cake. There was something definitely going on there. So after
20 years of dealing with autoimmune diseases, and then all of a sudden this last one piles on, and
I'm afraid what's next.
It just topples things over. Yeah.
Is there any more? I don't know. I mean, is there going to be another odd one? I mean, this was odd enough, but yeah.
I've heard other people talk about how autoimmune diseases tend to come in bunches.
Bunches, yeah.
Do you ever stop and think, why me? Why is this happening to me?
Oh, I did all the time. I did. I wasn't able to have children. I had to go through 3 years of IVF, but it wasn't because of lupus, because you can carry children. You can have a very good pregnancy. But the strangest thing is when I finally did get pregnant after 3 years, everything went away.
I've heard stuff like this before too, that pregnancy
everything
really changes an autoimmune situation.
Everything, even my joints, swollen joints, that's from the lupus and the rheumatoid. Everything went away.
I have a request of the scientific community. Study this phenomenon. Why have we not? We need to figure this out. There's something here. I've heard this from so many people over the years on the podcast. There's something here. I don't know what it is. Some understanding of autoimmune disease. There's a key to be unlocked here that can crack something.
Something.
Yes. Someone needs to figure this out. What's happening during pregnancy that is causing these massive shifts in autoimmune diseases? And I've heard this exact same thing before, that the disease goes into remission. Remission
completely. And then it came back with a vengeance.
Yes.
3 or 4 months later, the psoriasis was all and I had 2 newborns, and I had it came back. Everything came back. My knees were swollen, and here I was carrying all this weight, and my knees were pretty good. And then after, everything set back in, because I refused to take any medication too when I was pregnant. I'm like, look, I went through too much to get this far. I'm not going to turn around and take any medications now. So I didn't, and I didn't have to, which was so strange.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't really have to.
What's happening there? I want to know, someone needs to do a study.
Isn't it weird?
It's wild. But it's consistent too. It's across all these different people, different bodies. It's happening over and over again. So let's figure this out.
Yes.
So you have this period in your life when you're younger, before, this autoimmune journey begins. in that early period, are you totally healthy? Are you dealing with any health challenges before your autoimmune journey starts?
Nope. I was living in Florida. I went to college in Florida. I was down on South Beach. I had my friends. We'd go all over the place. There was no thought. The only thing that maybe bothered me was if the ocean was cold, I would get like a little bit of a rash. If it was cold water like that. That was it.
Fascinating.
But that could just be sensitive skin too. So I never thought anything of it until when I moved back here to New York. Yeah.
And then you go on this complete different journey, and which you've been on for 20 years, and it has been like a tumbleweed where you're just picking up different illnesses as you go.
Yes. But this one was the icing on the cake. This was it.
How has this changed you? I mean, has it altered your sense of who you are, or has it altered the way you look at the world?
Listen, for having to stop working, it hurt me. I cried for a long time, but I've turned things around quite a bit now. So I'm home more. I'm able to spend time with my family more, which I was unable to do when you're working and I was on call and whatnot. So I was able to participate more in things. I automatically became a room mom for the school. I would go work the parties at the school. I've always wanted to go, but I was never able to. So that was one of the first things I did. And then I just stumbled from there. I joined a lupus support group. Now I'm on the board for, we put a lupus walk together. And so I'm on the board there now. So I participate in that. And I coach my daughter's cheerleading team when I can. Some days I'm not feeling up to it, but I do it. And I'm very honest about when I don't feel good. I mean, you could tell I get really tired, but I've turned everything around, I guess, to do something,
Yeah.
You couldn't just sit here and cry.
Exactly. Like, what's the choice? The choice is between find the best way through or sit here and cry. And
sit here and cry.
Sitting here and crying, very important. We're not discounting the importance of that. We're not saying don't do that. But, at a certain point.
When it hits you like that, it hits you like a ton of bricks about the working. I was like,
yeah, that's really
and
tough.
What is my purpose? I mean, I know I'm a mom, but I was like, I don't know. I've always worked. What do you mean? Like this is.
And when you stopped working, what was the job you were doing?
I was a social worker, like a caseworker for the county.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. And that's like
stressful.
Really, really important work. And like,
very
that's
stressful.
hard, very hard, very important work where you're sort of giving up a piece of yourself to help other people.
Mm-hmm. I was.
Yeah. And what a tragedy to not be able to do that. But you did it for so long. I mean, good for you. Like that's a lot of really important work. And I as I get older, something that sits with me more and more is that the things that we've done when we're younger, we always did those, like I used to play in rock bands and stuff. And I had all these dreams of, being a touring musician and stuff. And my chronic illness, I haven't played a show in like 10 years, basically, because of my chronic illness. Although my wife and I did play a little bit at our wedding brunch, which was really special.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but my chronic illness completely changed the trajectory of my life. And I have found so much joy in that because it took me in places that I wouldn't expect. Yes. And it sounds like you've really done the same, where you've
I have, and I've met other people now with GPP. And we communicate. We're all over the world. There's not many of us that I met, but we still keep in touch. We have each other's phone numbers. We'll send a text if somebody's like in a flare up or something. And we just kind of, we're like this little family that never sees each other, but we all have this thing in common. So, and there's websites and there's forums, online forums, and the National Psoriasis Foundation. They have a lot on there to read, and there's quite a few of us that are in this like little group that we try to form. So, people are scared. You go on there and you give your story, and you'll see you're not alone. You don't have to go through it alone. I wish I had that 4 years ago. I was putting pictures up to it, and it was saying like 3rd degree burn and like all this things. I'm like, no. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Wow. I have found in my chronic illness journey that it has really altered my sense of gratitude for the things that I'm grateful for in my life.
Yeah.
Is that something you've experienced as well?
I agree with that. Yes. After sitting in the house like that and feeling so useless, and then when you're able to go out again and, I'm able to go in the backyard and the pool, and here I was watching everybody do things, and it just makes you like realize that there's more. You're thankful for the nice day outside. I'm thankful to be able to go to these games, which I used to, the cheerleading, you're just sitting there, but now it's like, I'm thankful. I go and I have a smile on my face now, it's like, took advantage of things before, and then now I'm so thankful to go, and that I'm able to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that's thankful at this point in your life that you've had to go through this journey?
It made me, I think, a better person, and I understand people now. I actually listen. You actually listen now because you wanted to be heard when you were in this, so now you listen, and I feel like that's huge. I feel for people now when they're going through something, because people wouldn't even come near me. My friends didn't come over. They thought I was contagious for the longest time. Yeah.
Yes.
No one wanted to touch what I touch. And even my kids, they would look at, they're like, yeah.
Yeah. There's something about being challenged like this on a daily basis for years at a time that seems to take people through these stages where it's, it's like, I'm so angry. Why is this happening to me? I wish this wasn't happening to me. I want to get rid of it so badly. And then eventually coming to this place of acceptance, and then even gratitude beyond that of, wow, suffering like this has taught me truths about how to be happy that I never would have learned otherwise. And in some ways it's improved my life. It's wild. It
is wild.
I'm still shocked by this. I hear it from people all the time. I've lived it. I've experienced it. It's an amazing thing that is part of the chronic illness journey, that there are benefits to being sick all the time. It's just wild. But it's what we make of it. It's not that there's inherent benefit, I think. It's that you learn how to survive, and you learn how to lead the best version of the life that you have available to you.
Lead the best. Yes. That's what I do now. I do the best that I can now.
Yes.
And making the best of, I don't know, a nice day, I guess, which you didn't really kind of took advantage of before,
Exactly. I appreciate a nice day more now than I ever have in my entire life.
Well, here in upstate New York, we don't get many, but
yeah, just like if I have some time at the end of the day when the sun's going down, if it's a nice day, get my butt down to Green Lake and just sit in the grass, and just look out over the lake, and or go down to Gasworks Park and watch the sunset with, over Lake Union with the city in the background, and just feel how important it is to be human and to be outside.
Right.
So simple, but so important.
So
something
simple.
I did not value when I was younger. And there's no way to teach someone how to value that.
No.
You have to go through it and learn it for yourself.
Right. I'm thankful I can even put shoes on sometimes, because I couldn't wear shoes for long time. So,
wow. What a story, Janene. I'm just shocked. I have one more question for you.
Yes.
If you could go back in time a little over 20 years ago when your autoimmune journey was about to start, if you could share one message with yourself back in time, what would it be?
I probably to keep still living life, to live life to the fullest, because it could have just stopped. I mean, anything, it stopped so abruptly with this, and then you see people losing people, and I think I should have appreciated my time in Florida too, and did more things. And I don't know, I probably should have continued helping people. Like I should have started then even more than, maybe went to school even more, and just so I could have become maybe a dermatologist or something to help people. I don't know.
Well, that's such a great message. Keep living life, because in the midst of chronic illness, it often feels like your life has to come to a stop. And I did the same exact thing. And, I looked for a diagnosis until I was 38 years old. And there was several periods of my life where my life came to a complete standstill. And it's like, my life's on hold and I'm sick and I'm going to figure out why. And that's it. That's my life.
Yes.
And towards the end of my diagnostic journey, I shifted that to be, you know what? I'm going to focus on this my chronic illness is a big piece of what's happening to me, but I also have a life, and I'm also living my life.
Yes.
And I'm getting outside, and I'm getting some fresh air, and I'm doing things that feel good, and I'm pursuing my passions. I'm doing both of those things at the same time. It was a fundamental shift, and it is one that has served me remarkably well. And that was one of the most important life lessons that I got from the whole thing, is that, no matter what's happening, live. Yeah.
Life has changed, but not in a bad way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, shifted. It's just different now. And it's
you're
not
gonna
a
get
bad
through it.
way. It's not a bad way. I mean,
You're going to find strength you didn't know you had.
Right. Oh, I did. Sure did. I agree with that.
What an amazing story. I mean, this unfolded in a way that I have, like I said, I've never experienced on the show before, where we're peeling back the layers of what you've been through in a shocking way that I'm just so glad that you came on the show. What an incredible story. Please tell us if you have anything that you'd like to plug or anywhere that you'd like to direct our listeners towards.
Yes, to GPP and me. That is for general pustular psoriasis, and the National Psoriasis Foundation. They have a lot of information and people to contact. They have like mentors and people that you can talk to who are maybe in the same boat.
Amazing. What a powerful gift to spread some awareness about this.
Yes.
Maybe there's someone out there listening who is on day one, like you were at that golf tournament, and has some idea of what to do because of you sharing your story today. That's such a powerful gift. Janene, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Major Pain. I'm Jesse Mercury, the creator of this podcast, with support from Trisha Schmidt and Casey McKenzie. Artwork by Egg Salad Salad. Our theme music is the song Time Machine from my synth-pop album Sci-Fi, now streaming everywhere. Join our community on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, all at Major Pain Podcast. If you have questions or comments you'd like to share with myself, our guests, or our listeners, send an email to majorpainpodcast@gmail.com. You can also head to our website to learn more about this show, support its creation, or leave a comment on any episode at majorpainpodcast.com.